crime wave in Gotham. Other breaking news. Water. Wet.
Coming up, more problems for a troubled
Earthquake.
Yep,
We're having an earthquake.
Breaking into homes and tickling people.
Fans quickly trashed his pantsless look on social media.
Also, in other news,
The whistles go woo!
He was murdered and then set on fire while celebrating his birthday.
He's on the lean and the model.
I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
He thought the car was a spaceship and that the driver was an alien.
He lost his life savings, $2,600, and all he has to show for it is this stuffed banana with dreadlocks.
Uh-oh, here it comes. Oh, I thought you were going to give me the lyric. I thought you were going to give me the lyric. Come on, bring it over. All right, it is in other news.
What is this?
Goodfellows.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got a theme every time now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the anniversary.
There it is.
There you go.
Welcome. This is the Bernstein and Goff Show. It's time for In Other News.
Yes.
Where we go around the world of sports and outside of sports sometimes. And Dan has a movie review for you.
That's
on the anniversary of Goodfellas.
That's not my first item, though.
Goodfellas, by the way, not Goodfellas.
That's not my first item.
Okay.
Goodfellas.
I need to tell you about a man named Victor Pratt.
Okay.
Victor Pratt, speaking with reporters, told them how much he knows about rattlesnakes. This was after he finally regained consciousness in a Phoenix hospital. This via the Washington Post. He played with rattlers all the time as a child. He told NBC News 12 he learned how to cook them. He said, you cut the heads off. It tastes just like chicken. He said, with a mic clipped to his hospital gown, a bit hard to understand because his face had swollen up. Pratt even learned long ago what a rattler bite felt like after a mishap as a teenager, although that could not compare to the incident September 7th when he tried to recreate his childhood memories in his late 40s. At his son's birthday party outside Phoenix, they were at a lake, a rattlesnake happened along, and he said, I showed them how to catch it, and I was playing with it like little kids do. I was showing off like I always do. And there's pictures of him, and he's lying on his back in the dirt. He's got one end of the snake in each hand, and he's wearing the snake like a scarf. And then the snake bit him in the face.
Kill Bill.
He said, yeah. That was the banded crate, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he said, but same kind of, he said, I kept my mind strong. His sons drove him to the emergency room where a doctor inserted a tube into his airway to keep him breathing. There's a 100% chance he would have died had he not made it to the hospital within minutes. He was sedated and in shock. He remained unconscious for several days as the doctors eventually treated him with 28 vials of antivenin.
Oh, my God.
That's when a diamondback gets you flush in the face.
Right. All your nervous system is just spreading throughout it.
Yeah, you know what?
Stop playing with snakes.
I can't say what I usually say.
For all you junior high kids out there.
I mean, it's your kid's birthday party, and you're dangling a rattlesnake over your face?
Well, you deserve what you got. How about this idiot that shot the giraffe and then posed over it in Africa?
Mike Glennon?
No, he didn't. Yeah, he shot him over at Nando's and had some South African chicken shortly thereafter. Got him. I hate you. All right, last night, Brandon Marshall did not have a good game. He dropped a pass that would have given the New York Giants and Eli Manning a first down. It was a 3rd and 6, I believe, something like that. And then they punted the ball, and then the Lions returned it for a touchdown. So immediately, Giants fans raced to Twitter and got after Brandon Marshall. Now, I don't know if they follow him, but if you follow a guy, you can just put the @ and then the first couple of letters of their name, and you're good. You're going to get right to their Twitter feed. Well, Brandon Marshall got all the hate tweets, but it was Denver Broncos linebacker Brandon Marshall, not New York Giants wide receiver Brandon Marshall.
That's like the poor other Dan Bernstein out there who always is telling people I'm not the radio broadcaster / columnist.
You're
please
ruining his life.
Please leave me alone.
Or the other Chris Conte.
Or
that was the thing. I think you were gone.
I was gone?
After that blown coverage in that game against the Packers, people were tweeting I think it was a lawyer named Chris Conte
killing
somewhere.
a guy. Yeah. Or Jerry Sandusky.
Right,
the Ravens
broadcaster. Yes.
Yeah. Well, this happened all night long, and the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, was not for the play, as we like to say. This is from @ActonE. On my couch watching you drop Eli's passes. Brandon Marshall replied, "Meet me in the parking lot after the game then, chump."
It sucks.
At New York Nate 1, "Catch the ball, dude." Brandon Marshall tweets back, "Catch these."
Catch these hands.
Yeah.
Right?
Underscore BX Bomber underscore, "How you tweeting and dropping passes at the same time?" Brandon Marshall, "Cause I can do both." BOF. Shout out to Brandon Marshall. Oh, by the way, Riley Harris had something for him as well.
Great.
High point the football, idiot. Come say that to my face. So Brandon Marshall was going to fight everyone in the greater New York area.
He had to be laughing the whole time.
Of course
too.
he
That's
was.
Great.
Because people on Twitter are idiots and they're screaming at a football player who's on the field. So he gave him a little something for it.
Go see the movie Wind River. I would not have heard of this movie were it not for Jason Goff bringing it up.
I finally got one.
I didn't like that. I don't know.
And then I looked at it and I realized, at least as far as my wife is concerned, this checks pretty much every box. Police procedural and Jeremy Renner, who I would watch eat lunch. I would pay. He's on my list.
Terrific.
He's on my list of people with Mark Ruffalo and Matt Damon, guys who just say, look, for $12 you can just watch this guy eat lunch.
Ed Norton for me. Gotta think of a couple more, but go ahead.
Now, the thing about Wind River, it was directed and written by Taylor Sheridan. He is the writer of Hell or High Water. So when I recommend this to you, this movie is lean, cold, spare, and completely unflinching. I will also tell you, it is not the best way I can describe it as genre. It is a Western masquerading as a police procedural.
There's some shootout scenes.
But it's not just that. It's the portentous dialogue. You know who the good guys and bad guys are. There's a lot. It reminded me a little bit of Unforgiven in the way they lay out the landscape as a character, the environment.
Oh, you feel the cold in the theater.
To your bones, to your bones. They take you out of your element and put you in a different place with different rules, and they upend everything. And it's a murder mystery on a Native American reservation. But it's a very tightly done, lean, mean Western with Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen. The wonderful Graham Greene is in this too. He's always so terrific. You remember that he was in Die Hard with a Vengeance? You remember the cop trying to get the kids out of the school?
Yeah. He's the
local
lieutenant, the sergeant, or
He's the head of the reservation police force.
Yes.
So, yeah, he's in so many things.
Awesome.
He's always wonderful. But go see Wind River.
I'm glad you liked it, man. All right, I don't know what Howie Long and his wife did before they had kids, but it seems like they raised two pretty damn good kids, man. And this is from ProFootballTalk.com. After a man drove his car into a group of people protesting a gathering of white supremacists and killed a woman in Charlottesville, Virginia this August, Eagles defensive end and Charlottesville resident Chris Long spoke out about people, quote, who've had opportunities to strike hatred down but didn't. Long is now using what happened as the impetus for action to improve educational opportunities for others in his hometown. Long announced on Tuesday that he and his wife are donating his first 6 game checks from this season to fund a pair of 7-year all-expense-paid school programs. Quote, in August, we watched people fill our hometown street with hatred and bigotry. Megan and I decided to try to combat those actions with our own positive investment in our community. The scholarship fund, the scholarship fund will be administered through St. Anne's Belfield School, Long's alma mater, and will go to 2 middle school students affiliated with the Boys and Girls Club of Central Virginia. Shout out to Chris Long, because for a few years now, he has been a guy, you want to talk about Doug Collins saying he's woke? Chris Long has been one of these dudes who has not only talked that talk, but walked that walk. So I truly do appreciate him giving back to his community, especially at a time when so many things are separating us.
Let's also give credit, if you mentioned Howie and his wife raising 2. There's Howie Jr. too.
I don't know what he's done. I can't speak on Howie Jr. yet.
He's got a good reputation in the NFL. I believe front office guy in the NFL doing something.
It's hearsay.
Okay. you're not crediting the 3rd kid yet. Only 2. That's in other news. We do it sometimes, and sometimes we don't.
I'm glad you like Wind River, man. I was hoping, because what you don't want to do is make a review or tell Dan to go see something or to eat something, and he comes back and he crushes your experience, even though you had a good one. So I was like, should I tell Dan about Wind River? Should I tell the guys? I loved it. I'm so glad you liked it, brother.
It was really, really good, and there's some twists in there, and it's just all kinds of cool stuff, and it was so much better than the dinner I had afterward that I made the movie seem better because the dinner sucked so bad.